Whilst making this video, I started to feel something I haven't felt in Sea of Thieves for a very long time. At first, it was just a distant thought, almost like an old memory surfacing, but the more I explored, the stronger it became, until it turned into genuine excitement and pure joy. I realized what I was feeling was the sense of discovery, that instinct to explore and uncover the unknown that sits somewhere inside all of us, the feeling of being a pioneer, stepping into somewhere new, with no idea of what you might find around the next corner. The last time I truly felt like this in Sea of Thieves was during A Pirate's Life Tall Tales, the Monkey Island Tall Tales, and before that when the Devil's Roar first opened its doors. Those moments where nobody knew everything yet. Every island, every cave, and every tiny clue felt like it mattered because you could be the first person to find it. That feeling is what has always driven me to make content. Long before I was known for Sea of Thieves, the search for new places, hidden details, and bits of lore, the excitement of piecing together clues, and being one of the first people to share those discoveries with everyone else. That's always been at the heart of what I do. It's also why I fell in love with Sea of Thieves in the first place. Its freeform nature gave you the freedom to go wherever your curiosity took you. You weren't just following a marker on the map, you were setting your own course, asking your own questions, and chasing your own discoveries. For me, that's what Sea of Thieves has always been about, and it's a feeling I'd almost forgotten existed until making this video. It's just a shame that this new area is a place you'll likely never get to explore because you'll get one-balled, boarded, and shot in the face whilst being informed your mother is slightly on the chubby side and might need to consider a diet plan. However, thanks to the insider build of the game, the last ship standing area is now open for exploration on custom servers. Now, before we go any further though, I need to make one thing painfully clear. This is the insider build of the game, not the retail version. The insider build. I'm stressing that now because I quite like to remove the enormous insider watermark from the top of the screen while we look around. It's like someone standing in front of your TV wearing a high visibility jacket. So if you're wondering why you can't sail here in the live game, that's why. It isn't there. And to the inevitable comment that says, "How did you get here on retail?" Congratulations. You successfully identified yourself as someone who skipped at least half the video before heading straight to the comment section, which means I'm obliged to call you a unibrowed mop-headed dinglebert. And you'll never know I called you that. Now, when you're not dodging cannonballs and laughing at hit registration, you'll start to notice that this whole area is basically a greatest hits album of older Sea of Thieves assets. It's a bit of copy and paste mixed together into one giant arena, and I don't mean that as criticism either. If anything, it's a pretty clever use of resources. There are structures from the main game, bits from the Pirate's Life Tall Tales, old stonework, jagged rocks, shipwrecks, and all sorts of debris that have been stitched together surprisingly well. And if it all feels strangely familiar, there's a good reason for that. A lot of these assets come straight from the Pirate's Life Tall Tales, because this sea actually exists on the outskirts of the first Pirate's Life Tall Tale. You can even see the island from the Tall Tale sitting off in the distance. Now, I know some of you are already typing that I'm making that up, but you can actually fly over there into the muddy Sea of the Damned palette and find the Cursed Captain's ship just sitting there, minding its own business. It's not the full detailed version either. It's a low poly version that somebody actually took the time to make, and that's the part I can't stop thinking about. Someone sat at their desk one day, thought, you know what this place needs? A simplified version of the Cursed Captain's ship that absolutely nobody will ever see. Then they built it, then they placed it, then they shipped it. You can't even see it from the playable area. Not with a spyglass, not from a mast. It exists purely for people like me who immediately ignore invisible walls the moment they're given free cam controls. So congratulations to whichever developer quietly snuck this in. Your secret survived until a bunch of curious idiots on insider servers started flying around like seagulls with admin powers. I salute your dedication. Now, if you could apply that same level of commitment to clothing presets, I think we'd all appreciate it. On top of that, there's also a nice little nod to the orb teasers from our favorite mustache gentleman, who somehow managed to spend the better half of a decade trapped inside a painting at Reaper's hideout. Arthur Pendragon has carved his initials into the wall of the lighthouse here, which lines up rather nicely with the old orb teasers. If you remember them, Pendragon was supposedly searching for a way out of the Sea of the Damned by following the trail of the fabled captain. Turns out he was actually pretty pretty close. The only problem is he left a bit too early, because once a ship called Skeets for Taj wins the battle, a portal opens right in the middle of the map. Arthur, mate, if you just waited another 10 minutes, you could have skipped years of wandering around a haunted painting and simply hitched the lift. Oh wait, yeah, he keeps getting skeeted when he boards. Yeah, that makes sense. Stop skeeting, Pendragon! As you venture out into these out-of-bound areas that you can never actually reach in the retail game, the first thing Sea of Thieves does is throw you straight into the Shroud Palette. Lore-wise, that makes absolutely no sense, but we'll politely look the other way and pretend that was all part of the plan. Once you push through that, you really start lifting the veil on what's out here. From a distance, everything looks convincing. Huge cliffs, distant structures, and mysterious landmarks, all doing a fantastic job of setting the illusion. Then you get closer, and the illusion starts falling apart. Mountains are hollow, buildings have no backs, some rocks are being held together by what feels like hopes and dreams. It's all one big magic trick, and you've just wandered backstage. Now, that's not me criticizing the game, because this is exactly what scene dressing is supposed to do. Every game does it. If something is only ever meant to be seen from a mile away, there's no point in spending weeks decorating the side nobody will ever look at. That's just sensible game development. What makes it so entertaining, though, is stumbling across these strange little cursed pockets of the world where the illusion ends. They almost feel forbidden, as if you've accidentally opened a staff door and found the cardboard cutouts holding reality together. And every now and then you come across a random set piece or an oddly detailed area that makes you stop and wonder if it was once meant for something else. Was this part of an old encounter, a scrapped tall tale, an abandoned idea, or did someone spend 3 days building it only for it to become an expensive looking wallpaper? I genuinely love finding things like this, because every odd detail tells a story, even if it's one the developers never intended anyone to hear. Half the fun is not just discovering these places, but wondering what they were, why they exist, and what they could have been. But anyway, that's my little cruise around the last ship standing area. I hope you enjoyed it, and as I said earlier, it's just a shame that this is a completely new area in Sea of Thieves, and yet exploring it is about as useful as reading a treasure map after you've found the treasure. It exists, it's genuinely interesting, it's full of little details and hints, and then the game politely reminds you that you're not really supposed to care because it's tucked away inside a game mode where you'll probably spend most of your time trying not to get cannonballed in the face. But hopefully one day we'll get an area like this in Adventure where we can properly explore it at our own pace. Wander around, poke at suspicious walls, wildly overanalyze every scratch on a rock, and convince ourselves it's teasing the next 5 years of story content. You know, the important stuff. Will that actually happen? Well, let's just say I'm not rushing out to buy celebration fireworks quite yet, but that's a conversation for another video. But if you like what you saw, then please do tickle the like button, and if you really liked what you saw and want to see more, then don't forget to skeet the subscribe button. And until next time, happy sailing.